Easy. Are you suddenly seeing what he's saying? Yes, when your mind is drawn to it, you see it, you get evidence. You get it? That is what my work should do to you. But for me, originally, it was actually supposed to be a pursuit to the light. But how does that speak exactly to what he's saying? Spams, seeking the ovary. Do you get it? When you do what we call pure art, you and not somebody, it resonates with people in a unique way, but your message is never missing.
Wow.
Yes.
It's Visa. Visa with the time. Slow Visa. It's Visa. It's Visa. It's Visa. Visa with the time. It's Visa. It's Visa. Africa, gone is tomorrow. Today is here. Achievement to be accomplished. Nothing to fear.
So I want to have another conversation. And this conversation, I want to have it with a mind consultant. He's a consultant. All right. And so I want to invite a big man. All right. He'll be interviewed as an artist, a mind consultant, idea generator, and a creative consultant with wealth of experience in brand and advertising and social entrepreneurship. And his session will also be moderated by Madam Betty Osei-Bonsu, who was our first host. And so at this point, we want to invite Mr. Joseph Narnor. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Joseph Narnor.
No. Small. Please, in fact, just go ahead. Tell us, who are you?
Okay, so the name is Ebusian. So, like I said, it's Ebusian. They call me Ebusian, but depending on where you meet me, you can call me Kojo or Joseph.
Why?
Joseph is to fulfill my destiny.
Oh, okay.
That is what the person who is like a god to me, that is our fathers, decided to call me. Okay. So if you understand things in life, we are not just born, and we are here for a reason, for a purpose. And as a child, you don't know. It is a person who brings you into the world, who has an idea of what that's supposed to be. So Joseph is to fulfill the destiny or the purpose for which I'm in this earth. And Ebusian is to reflect what I am to people, And then Kojo is the day I was born. I'm a Monday born.
Okay.
So we are different things to different people. To the woman who likes me, I am the happy or whatever. To the guy who is, to the guy who sees me as an enemy, we are different things. So I like people to call me what they think of me. And I also try to always call people what I see in them and what I think of them.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so please tell us your story. How did you start this journey of arts?
It began at home. Once again, I have to relate it back to my father. I was born in a situation where we are not forced to be what the society wants us to be. Fortunately, I like to say by grace, we read a lot. I saw him reading, so I was also reading. But he also observed that I like to draw. So when it came to going to senior high school, where most of us decide on a portion of the area, a lot of people told him that, let him go and read either general arts or something to become a lawyer or an architect. But it was like, no, of all my children, they are unique. And Ebusian, he likes to write and draw. So let him go and do visual art. And that is how the story began for me. I went to senior high school and then I did visual art. In my first term, I actually almost came home. Because I went to school as an artist-minded person. I know we are free and creative. Nobody tells you what you should do. That is how we think. And then I go to school first time and my teacher is telling me that I paint this way or draw this way. So I remember calling home and it's like, I want to come home. And it's like, I said, I came here to do art and my teacher is telling me that I should paint the way he thinks is right. So I want to leave.
So indirectly, you don't like directions?
No, I don't like directions. I don't like directions. So that is how the story began, you know, from senior high school, from my father indirectly. And it's been a journey from there since senior high school, the experience, the reality that I'm not a good artist. That was the first thing I learned in school, that I'm not a good artist, because I saw colleagues and friends. We did ceramics then, graphic design, and GK, and then economics. Interestingly, my best subject was economics. And I saw colleagues, artists who could mold you as you are sitting there. I could never mold anything. Never. I mean, I saw other guys who could paint and draw so well. I could not do that, you know. So that was the first reality that I'm not a good artist. But it made me also discover something about art, which I think is the greatest thing I discovered in school, that art is much more than what we express.
Wow.
It is what we think. It is what we think. So that's a little bit of my story.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Now, talking about expression and thinking, and we are talking about storytelling also. So how are you able to use art to illustrate story? Or even talking about any piece of art you've done, it could be here anywhere. What story could you tell us from that art?
All right, so from my works, usually, I think the best story I like to tell people is your own story. Let me give you what I mean. I never paint any work or do any artwork that you go and go like, this is nice. If you say my work is nice, I feel disappointed.
Oh,
I like you to look at my work and go like, what is that?
okay. Yes.
I want my work to speak to you and then talk to you, engage you.
Ask me a question.
You get that? So the work is never boring to you because every time you are looking at it and you don't virtually know what the guy is saying or what he's trying to picture.
Okay.
And I think that is what life is. Every single day we wonder where it is taking us and what is happening. And that is the stories that, unfortunately, I think we are missing in our generation. We
Wow.
are becoming mass-produced people.
Oh, no.
Mass-produced people. We don't have our unique stories. We all want to be like, we want to flow with the tide. We want to replicate what we are seeing. And we miss the fact that everything we are seeing, everything we are hearing is somebody's conscious plan.
Wow.
So if your work or my work, you look at my work and you say it's nice, what it simply tells me is that it is speaking to something that is already established in your heart, in your mind. That is not good.
That's true.
When you go like, what is this? Then it is questioning you and you are questioning yourself. That means there's something for you to discover and for you to know. And that's what I think about my art.
Evoking the mind.
Evoke the mind. Think. Ask, what has he done? What
Wow.
am I seeing?
Okay, so do you want to illustrate any of the paintings behind
I'll speak
and
to
what it means?
I'll speak to this, but I'm curious about this. Why you hang this one like that? I'm asking so because that is not the work. The work is actually vertical.
Oh, okay.
But did anybody see anything wrong with it?
No.
You noticed? What did you see? All right, so it's actually supposed to be vertical, and it's supposed to the sun. The sun. Tell me. Easy, easy,
Oh.
easy, easy, easy. Are you suddenly seeing what he's saying? Yes, when your mind is drawn to it, you see it, you get evidence. You get it. That is what my work should do to you. But for me, originally, it was actually supposed to be a pursuit to the light. That's it. So they are trying to get to that up there. So it's supposed to be vertical. But when I gave it to her, I didn't say anything to
Whoa.
it.
Now
You
I'm
get it?
seeing that.
But how does that speak exactly to what he's saying? Sperms seeking the ovary. Do you get it?
Ooh,
Do you get it?
knowledge.
Yes, and that is something you also discover when you do what we call pure art. You and not somebody. It resonates with people in a unique way, but your message is never missing.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, please.
It also looks like a treasure which has been displaced because one point has the circular motion of the yellowish or the golden treasure there, and it has thin lines going down. So in that sense, it's like a big treasure which has to be displaced down. That is your
Allah, do you
Wow.
get the thing? So she has even turned the thing upside down. You get the whole picture. You know, and again, let me relate to how it connects to the original. You see, it's peering towards the light, but this time the light is being dispersed to the younger generation.
Wow.
Do you get the thing? Virtually everybody will see something relative to who you are, but the message will always be constant. Let me use that to relate something to history or some things about other people when they do their works. In every artwork, there's a message, sublime messages. It is in movies we watch. It is when we were growing up those days, they used to say if you play the tape backwards, you hear the messages that have been in there. Okay? Every movie you watch has a message. Every book you read has a message.
Yeah.
Everything you see has a message. Many of us don't see the messages. It is because the wise people hide the message inside the artwork. So your eyes and your normal face will read what you are seeing. The unconscious you and the spiritual ones, the people who are able to connect, actually connect to you.
Wow.
And you do the things that they are telling you without your knowledge. And it's in every artwork or in everything. Everything. And people who know put it inside. Let me take you a little bit forward because
Okay.
of this conversation. In the future, it's not in the future, it's there now. Even in what we see, like let's see my picture there can be an image in my picture there that you not see. But if you see that in infrared or something else, you see the message in there. You understand what your spirit can speak and see. A lot of you don't know what your spirit can see. The people who know. So they'll put a message in the picture or even in the technological material you have and you are imbibing it, but yet you don't know. And that's something you should know about because we are talking about art and expressions. We are telling you stories that you are not aware of because you want to lead you to places you don't know yet. And you are going those places because you yourself don't know where you are going.
Wow, I think this is beautiful. So do you think that African art is missing? Because I'm missing a lot of arts, but hardly do I see a lot of mass communication on African art. Like now, what's the question? What is even African art? I don't even know what to describe it. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's a pathetic state we are in.
Wow.
Let me start with two things. He said that Africans have the MC. Africans, we tell our stories orally, right? How many of you have heard of the Timbuktu University, the Islamic University in Mali, Timbuktu?
Timbuktu. I've heard of Timbuktu.
One of the oldest universities in the world. We have scripts from them that are still the oldest in the world. Universities. How many of us know Field Africans? Yes, Timbuktu, the University of Timbuktu. Written. I don't know where we got this idea that our stories are oral and not scripture. When I say scripture, written spells. You are spelling, you are casting a spell. You are talking. That's the first thing they tell children, how to spell. And the word comes from spell, magic. Because you see, when I speak to you, I'm creating in you. I'm causing you to take an action. Our this is not oral. We were right. So, for me, I think one of the key things is getting them to read. Cut it. You know what reading does? It makes you dream, imagine. And you see, when you start imagining, depending on the environment you want to create. And that is why social media is a little dangerous. Yes, it is. Okay, it is because we've not two things. We've not given you what excites you. And then we've not taught you how to read.
Wow.
What our strategy that we've been trying to push is to make you have a short attention span. Because if you have a long attention span, you read. And when you are reading, you are quiet. Think about those things. And inspiration comes in silence. Those of you who are believers, if you believe in any religion, 99% of the time, the gods or God likes silence when he wants to connect with people.
Wow.
That's why there's the meditation. Yes. That reminds me, let me ask the Christians here. Why is it that when you are praying, you said they should close their eyes? Attention on who? Do you need to close your eyes to see him? So why are you closing your eyes? What other things? Yes, why? Okay, so let me ask you. So all your life, you've never thought of why you close your eyes. You think it is because of distraction. Tell me any religion, major religion you know, aside Christianity, that when they are worshipping their God, they close their eyes. Start with African religions. You tell me.
It's Muslim African religion.
No, we are not. We are not conversing. I'm just drawing your mind to something.
Yeah.
90% of all religions, when they are praying to their gods, they don't close their eyes. But you've not questioned it. Do you get it? I was bringing it to the issue of meditation. That how do we solve the problem? We need to read. If you can get people to sit down and not swipe fast like that, short messages, and control their mind to be able to read text and create the imagery in their head, they are going to kill the thing. But it is not just get them to start reading. That is the youth.
Yeah.
We need to get them start reading the right things.
Yes.
Simple as that. If I give you Huckleberry, Finn, I give you, like we said, Avengers. I give you 90% of the narrative is foreign written, no original thoughts, no natural or
Now
local.
AI has come.
What do you think you would think?
You think what other people are thinking.
Perfect. So read, but read the right thing. And where do you find the right thing, if I may ask you?
In books, in narratives.
Which books? How many of you know where you can find quality African books? We are solving
I
the
don't
problem.
know.
Anybody here who can reference us? Just say from here, all of you, please go to the Legon Library or go here. How many of you can?
Wow.
Is it a problem?
Yeah, this is really
But this is
intriguing.
what we can solve. But then how many of you are on TikTok? You know there are very solid African themed guys on TikTok who push certain agenda, etc. Do you get it? But when they push it, how many of you when you see
Likes
it,
it.
not just like it, after you go and research more? So to answer the question, you need to get them reading.
Wow.
But
Wow.
get them the books to read. And the books are there. They are there. Half of it is on Google. But Google won't let you find it. Because you don't ask the right question. You never go to Google and question, where can I get original African themed books? that speak to XYZ. Two things will happen. You won't ask the question because your mind has never been averted to it. Two, Google won't give you that in the first 10 searches because they know that if you have knowledge, you have power. So
Wow.
it will be in the third, fourth searches before you start seeing the gem and the correct things. But your minds will never go there. This conversation we are having, none of you, if you are not careful, 70 years in the world, you'll never see it.
Wow, wow, wow. Please put your hands together for this creative mind. You can see the mind resonating. You can see the arts in working in this mind. Thank you so much for this powerful statement you shared with us. I would want you to share one last statement for us to close this conversation. We hope we can continue this narrative. Please go follow him. Let's continue this conversation. One last word to the audience.
Don't make the mistakes your parents made.
Oh.
Don't. This is what I mean. Don't. But don't blame your parents. When the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, all they knew was 400 years of slavery. So a father cannot think of a person who is not a slave. His grandfather was what? A slave. And great-grandfather was a slave to 4 generations. So when you say, what is your history? All they remember is what? Slavery. And it is difficult for a slave to see himself as a master, the way the lion can't see himself as a hunter of a human being.
Yeah.
But so don't blame your parents. They've lived 400 years in Ghana as slaves under the colonial period. But you have the opportunity
To change the
to
narrative.
change that.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
don't make that
Please
mistake.
put your hands together for him. And with all what he has said, I just want to add this last thing. Art goes beyond canvas. It echoes stories of generations. As young people here, just tap into this narrative and continue the conversation.
I hope you are inspired because we are. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to all our social media channels. It's displayed on the screen, and don't forget to press that notification bell to receive updates when they come by.
It's peace.